From the Apubco Studios at Britain and Broadway, you're listening to a News OK podcast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the News OK Comics podcast. I'm Matt Price. I'm here with Kyle Roberts. Kyle, comic fans this week can die hard.
Yeah, that's right. Starting off with Die Hard Year One. It's kind of a prequel to the movie series.
Right, yeah. John McClane, Bruce Willis. This takes him back to 1976. He's a rookie cop during the bicentennial. And it appears there are some shenanigans going on in the police force, and John McClane may have to uncover,
kind of in the middle of all of it.
yeah, some of these goings on.
So what do you think? I mean, what's your take on this kind of prequel series?
Man, I liked it. This is written by Howard Chaykin, who has written Black Hawk and a lot of other comic books, American Flag. And this is kind of like a 70s cop movie, is really what it felt like. It's art's by Stephen Thompson. I thought it was suitably gritty, and I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, it's got the feel of a Die Hard movie a little bit, but it's also got that sort of 70s cinema. Like if they'd made a Die Hard movie with the sort of 70s cinema feeling, you might have gotten a comic book like this.
Yeah, and really any comic book that you could really picture it as a movie, and vice versa, since they're both kind of escapes from reality, that's always a good sign.
Yeah, so enjoyed Die Hard Year One quite a bit. Part 1 is out this week.
I like the way the story started off. I wish he looked a little bit more like Bruce Willis, maybe, but kind of how it's drawn and the edginess of it, like you're saying. Maybe that's kind of how it's supposed to be.
A little stylized. Yeah, he looks like him. He doesn't. It's not a photorealistic resemblance, but it kind of looks like him.
So yeah.
Plus, you got to consider this would be like 12 years before Die Hard,
right.
So he would be a little younger looking.
Yay. I'm still waiting for the Yippee-Ki-Yay.
Yeah,
it'll come in there.
It'll come in there at some point. Spider-Man: The Clone Saga #1. Those of you guys who've been reading comics for a while probably remember in the '90s there was a long Clone Saga that spun out of the one in the. Yeah, it was several years. I'm wanting to say 3 years. It could have just felt like 3 years, but I'm wanting to say 3 years. It spun out of the clone storyline in the '70s where Peter Parker had a clone, and then he thought he was dead. Comes back in the '90s. Long storyline. Some of the guys involved with that storyline are now sort of condensing it down, saying, well, what if we had not strung that thing out so far? How would we have told it in the same, I guess, germ of a story in a more condensed format? And this is Tom DeFalco, Howard Mackey, who wrote parts of the Clone Saga back then, and Todd Nauck, who did the Barack Obama Spider-Man story and has done some other Spider-Man stories in the past, are doing, just in 6 issues, sort of the condensed Clone Saga. I don't know how different it's going to be. Obviously, it'll be shorter. But I'm going to read it. I didn't read all the Spider-Man Clone Saga comics. I mean, I think I felt like it kind of went on too long. But I did read the Dan Jurgens Sensational Spider-Man that featured Ben Reilly, the Spider Clone, and I actually enjoyed those. There are fans of the Ben Reilly character out there, so I'm going to read this and kind of see where it goes, see if it holds up.
Yeah, so far it's working out pretty well. There's tons of action in it. Storyline's flowing along nicely. Like you said, it's only six series,
issues,
so should work out pretty well.
All right, Superman. This is featuring the Guardian this month. Mon-El is thought to be dead. The Guardian has to kind of follow up there. He reveals to the other policemen what's happened to Mon-El. You've got reaction from them. You also find out a secret about one of the policemen over the course of this issue. And, of course, the anti-Kryptonian sentiment continues to build. So James Robinson keeping the story moving here, and Fernando D'Agino, probably saying that wrong, is continue to develop as an artist from DC, and I actually like his art quite a bit. If you're following the overall Superman story, this moves forward some of that anti-Kryptonian story and what's going on in Metropolis in Superman's absence.
Sweet.
And then we'll close up with Wolverine, Weapon X, #5, I believe, closing out the first story arc by Jason Aaron and Ron Garney as Wolverine faces off against these sort of laser-clawed...
who also have healing powers. Yeah. Pretty much everything Wolverine is, but a little bit more hardcore, I guess.
Right.
For how they engineered
new
them.
Weapon X types with even more powers. And, facing off against one of them, I guess in the last issue, almost killed him.
Yeah.
And there's 11 more of them in this issue. So, I've enjoyed this series. It's violent, of course. It's Wolverine at one of probably his more violent. But Ron Garney's great at drawing action. Jason Aaron putting the story together well. What do you think?
Sweet, yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. There's a couple pretty awesome scenes that I don't want to give anything away, but if you're a Wolverine fan, you're going to love it.
All right, very good. Out of those, I'm going to pick, just kind of, it's a different take, I'm going to take Die Hard. I'm going to take Die Hard as my pick.
I'll go with Weapon X.
All right, very good. So these are your action-packed comics at your comic retailer this week. For Kyle Roberts, I'm Matt Price. Thanks for watching.